So this is the third and last part of the video about my menopause journey. Now, the mental part and the emotional part of the menopause, because I've been talking about my body, I'm still recovering. The body part, I'm still quite weak because I was in bed for a long time, crying last year, quite a lot of time, and I lost body mass. And now I understand that probably the hormones even influenced more the loss of body mass. I don't know. And mentally and emotionally, I changed. And that change was due to the last 2 years. As I told before, a lot of things happened in my life. A lot of situations that I never expected at all. And I had to look inside me, very close, very deep, and reevaluate me and the world, and me special as a person, who I was, and also as a woman. And that changed me. And then the cherry on the top was knowing that I was already post-menopause. And that made me reevaluate a little bit more deep of how I saw myself as a woman. I am definitely not the same person that I was in 2021. And if I look to 2019, the person that I used to be before COVID-19 appeared, we are worlds apart. I had a very, very big transformation, that's for sure. And in a way, it's like I've been reborn right now, because I am so different in some situations. The food that I eat is completely weird for me, not eating meat. I have a friend that says, you will go back, because I really used to like it quite a lot. I never imagined myself as a vegetarian, but yeah. I changed a lot the way I see life, more aware, I would say, of myself and other people feelings, more considerate, I would say, maybe more tolerant. And I would say that in some ways I'm starting to rediscover myself. I still don't know very well who am I. That was how deep my transformation was. One thing that I had to reassess, it was the fact that I don't have children by choice. I always wanted to be a mother, but I made the choice of not being a mother, because delaying having a child is choosing not having a child. That's the reality. And now the baby factory is closed. It's a fact. And it hurts. There is always there was a pain that I'm making my peace with now. And I really had to go deep in that. So it was very complicated sometimes. I can tell you that I still share quite a lot of tears about not being a mother, but it's choices in life, and I have to face it. So even me that thought that I have things solved, I didn't. I also discovered that I had quite a lot of prejudice very deep in me that I had no idea, and that was quite a revelation. So I'm Portuguese, and I am the first generation after the Portuguese Revolution in 1974. So basically I am the first generation of women that are born free here in Portugal, because we had a dictatorship, and my mother and my grandmother, if they would want to go out of the country, they would have to ask authorization to my grandfather. Otherwise, they couldn't go out of the country. So I'm from the first generation that didn't need that. I have the whole world at my feet to conquer when I was a child. But even having the world at my feet, me and all girls of my generation, and we could choose and be whoever we wanted, the reality is that we still had a very traditional education, because there was the revolution. We have our freedom, women, we could vote, we could travel, but the mentality doesn't change in a day like the country did. Mentality changed along generations. So I actually also was raised to be the ideal wife and mother and housewife. So I also had that education. So I'm from a generation that is a transition. And one thing that happened is that when I was a child, I grew up, the adults saying how important it is to have a family, and that how important it is to have children, and actually that children are the best thing in the world. And I grew up hearing from people around me that men would switch women, the older for the younger ones, that after a certain age a woman would become outdated and men will discard them and switch for a younger one. That is the reality, this mentality at the time. And one day when I heard that I was post-menopause, not long after that, I was in the bathroom looking into the mirror, and I just thought, you are old and finished. If you ever thought you have a partner again, forget it. Now you are done. And as soon as I finished thinking this, I was so shocked, because never ever in my life I thought I would have this kind of idea of myself. And those are awful words, awful to say to someone, and to myself included. And it was when I realized that these thoughts come from things that I heard 40 years ago, because children believe in adults. They truly do. We are very naive when we are young. We absorb everything that is around us. And that information, it was what I observed. And the thing is that my inner child, the child inside me, still believed it. And I was shocked. And I can tell you that this moment right now, my inner child is in a re-education center. I made time for it, quite a lot of time, and I definitely don't identify with these kind of things of sort of prejudice, not at all. I am aware of my age, obviously, but I am aware that my mentality is very, very different from the mentality of my parents, and even more different from the mentality of my grandparents and their generation. Sometimes I even quite different from the society that I'm integrated, but that are other details. But the reality is that I don't see me like that normally. First of all, I truly believe that my happiness comes from me. I am the only person that can make myself happy. There is no one's task to make me happy, not my mother or family, not my friends, and definitely not a partner. No. I have to make myself happy. We cannot depend on that other people, no way. And I'm extremely loved by everyone. I'm spoiled with love, that is for sure. And I'm very grateful for the people that I have in my life. I have extraordinary people in my life. And I was not really even searching for a partner, you know. And although I never found myself beauty before, it's like for decades I wouldn't see any beauty in me. Funny enough, last year, in the middle of all the mess that it was at the time, I start looking myself in the mirror and see that actually I am beautiful. I start seeing myself through another perspective, and actually one day I took a selfie to send my mom, and I looked at that selfie and said, my God, you are really beautiful. What was all about in that head? All these decades of you looking to the mirror and say, no, I'm ugly, looking to the photos, no, I'm ugly, and now finally I appreciate myself. And irony, I was already post-menopause. So, it's not true. I'm not done. I have a full life in front of me, and the reality is that my future is as uncertain than when I was 20 years ago old. I don't know my tomorrow. I don't know in 6 months ahead or 10 years ahead. So I have no clue what the future will bring me. And I have a future that I am aware of. I have plans, projects, I have a full life. So definitely that old beliefs and prejudice don't fit in my life, no way. But I think I'm not the only one that is assaulted with this idea. So I had to share this with you. If you also have this crazy thought sometimes, it's not true. We get to post-menopause and we have a full life in front of us. So I hope I was helpful, and useful, I would say also. If you want to leave any comment or make questions, please put in the comments below, or you can send me an email to bipolarchats2023@gmail.com, and see you next video.